San Diego, there's some breaking news in San Diego. Steve Hilton is with us. San Diego Supervisor Jim Dresman speaks out against the Board of Supervisors who voted to turn the county into a super sanctuary county. Let's play cut 78.
I think this policy goes beyond California's existing sanctuary laws by adding an additional layer of bureaucracy that hinders local law enforcement from directly notifying ICE about illegal immigrants who are currently in our jails, and they have committed heinous crimes, including child abuse or endangerment, driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs, but only if this conviction is for a felony, torture, rape, and kidnapping.
Steve, what is going on in San Diego?
It's insane. I mean, this is, again, going back to what we were saying earlier, this is a place that was, it used to be thought of as a Republican place. And they've gone completely nuts to the far left. This extremism is off the charts. And they're doubling down on this policy. They're going further even than our terrible sanctuary state laws to basically stop any kind of cooperation between local law enforcement and ICE. Tom Homan's not going to stand for this. We know that. But, they're just throwing up these barriers. What's it all about? Is this performative? I mean, I didn't even want to use the term virtue signaling. There's no virtue in it. But that's what it's about. It's like saying, we're the good people. We're standing up against Trump. We're going to preemptively stop them from deporting people. Who are they defending here? They're defending violent criminals. Okay, that's what's going on. And the kind of the outrageous nature of this, they have no self-awareness of what this means or what it tells people about their values. I mean, it reminds me of LA City Council. That was just a couple of weeks ago. They voted to become a sanctuary city, actually less teeth than the San Diego one. They did that in the middle of the Lake and Riley murder trial. Like, just the kind of crass offensiveness of that is just unbelievable. But they have no concept of how this comes across to regular people. They're totally captured by their far left activists, and this is all just pandering to them.
Steve, last question, Califailure is the book. Can a Republican win statewide again in California?
Yes, and here's why. I always felt that was possible because people, you just push people so far. And I go around the state all the time and people are just sick of what's going on. They've had enough. The crime, the homelessness, the cost of living, can't get a house, can't follow your dream, can't run a business. It's all a nightmare, right? So there's those substantive reasons that I always felt if we had a really great campaign, we could really bring people across. But actually what happened in this election in California just now is the real data that we need. And so I'll just give you a couple of numbers. If you look at the next statewide election is 2026. It's a midterm election. You're going to have a lower turnout. And if you just take an assumption of what that turnout is going to be based on previous midterm elections, the number of votes you need to win as a Republican in California is actually slightly lower than the number of votes that President Trump just got in California. So the votes are there. President Trump got the votes in California this election. The key will be to make sure that everyone who voted for Trump in California this time turns out and votes for change next time. Then we can definitely do it. The votes are there. The Republican support is there. We just have to go and find it and get it and make sure people vote, which you, Charlie, know all about because that's what you've been doing across the country this election with Turning Point.
Do you get a sense that the Democrats are afraid of a backlash in California to break their supermajority, eventually win statewide? But a minute remaining. Speak about the current political climate as Newsom's regime comes to an end.
No, they don't. They're still complacent. They're still totally arrogant. They're delusional about this. They think that they're going to be in power forever. They got the arrogance of this ruling elite. And so they don't really fear that kind of political change. They actually fear primaries from the far left and that kind of thing. And that's why they're completely beholden to their activists and the unions and so on. But I think that they need to, I'm very happy if they're complacent, by the way, because it means that they won't be ready for what's coming. A real revolution is coming in California. That is, my show on Fox used to be called The Next Revolution. I say it at every meeting. The next revolution is going to be the California revolution.
I love it. Steve, you're a great man. I'm going to behind you any way I possibly can be.
Thank you, Charlie.
And someone's got to run for governor out there in the Golden State. So why don't you go find
watch
someone,
this
Steve?
space. I think so. I think we need to find someone really good who's really fired up about the possibility of change.